Christmas. Thank you for letting me come today to be with you at Grundy Center High School. Don't you love standing outside freezing to death? I'm so glad that you're here, and it's so exciting to be a part of the Iowa caucus. Iowa's going to choose the next president of the United States. I think it'd be great to put an Iowan in the White House, don't you? I am running to be the next president of the United States because I want to make sure that you have a future. That's what I'm concerned about, is you. I have 5 kids. I've raised 23 foster kids. I'm the old woman in the shoe, having raised 28 kids, and I want to make sure that you guys have an awesome future, an awesome chance for a job, and Grundy Center is a terrific place to be.
Here. My name is Michele Bachman. I'm running to be the next president of the United States in 2012. We're here in Grundy Center, Iowa, at Grundy Center High School, and we have some of the best kids in Iowa right behind us. We are really thankful to be here today. We're on our 99-county tour all across Iowa, and we are thrilled to be in Grundy Center. This is where the vote is going to happen and where people are going to decide who the next president of the United States will be. And I just have a couple of comments. This last Friday evening, my competitor Ron Paul was on the Jay Leno show. When he was on the Jay Leno show, he was asked to comment on me, and he said that I hate Muslims. And I want to make an undeniable statement right now. There is no proof anywhere that I have ever said that I hate Muslims, because I don't hate Muslims. What I love are the American people, and I love this country. We know that there are haters in this world. The president of Iran and the mullahs in Iran have said unequivocally, if they obtain a nuclear weapon, they will use that weapon against our ally Israel. They will use it against the United States of America. I am unwilling, as a future president of the United States, to see the Iranians use a nuclear weapon against the United States and hold us hostage or our allies hostage. That is wrong, because what I will do is make sure that I secure the safety and the freedom and the sovereignty of the American people. Last night we learned that the leader of Korea, Kim Jong-il, had passed away. This only reminds us how dangerous the world is that we live in. While North Korea is not currently on the list of state sponsors of terror, it was on that list. There are 4 nations that are state sponsors of terror. And while we have one less dictator in the world who is oppressing his own people, there is no indication that there is a hope for freedom on the horizon for the people of North Korea, because his successor could quite likely be even worse than Kim Jong-il. And that's why, worse, together working with the Chinese, the North Koreans are actively working to help the Iranians to obtain missile technology to deliver a nuclear weapon. This cannot be. And it is why Ron Paul would be a dangerous president of the United States. He would have our nation ignore the very clear, unmistakable warning signs of another brutal dictator who wants to wipe Israel and the United States off the face of the earth. I won't ignore that very real threat. And while only a fool would ever wish for war, I certainly don't, we cannot and I will not ever allow Iran to have a nuclear weapon. And I'll stand by Israel, unlike our current president. Today we also learned that the United States Supreme Court will be hearing oral arguments on Obamacare in late March of this year. It reminds us that we need a president who's committed to repealing Obamacare. I wrote the legislation to repeal Obamacare, and I led 40,000 Americans, including Iowans, to Washington to fight against Obamacare. We also know that Newt Gingrich and Mitt Romney will not repeal Obamacare because they have actively campaigned for a health care mandate. One was the father of the individual mandate, that is Newt Gingrich, and the other implemented socialized medicine in his own state. That's why I say Newt, Romney, combined together will not be the people who will repeal Obamacare. We can't leave it in its current state. I am the true conservative in this race who has led the 40,000 Americans to fight Obamacare, and I'll repeal it. And I was very proud to receive the endorsement of the citizens movement, which is a major Tea Party organization made up of 900 individuals. So I'm excited to be here in Grundy Center and excited to push through for our 99 county Iowa tour, and I'm looking forward to being the next president of the United States. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to take them.
There are plenty of evangelical leaders in Iowa who say that they really like your platforms, they like your policies, but some of them have said that they don't think the U.S. is ready for a female president. Is that offensive to you?
Well, I think that Iowa, of all of the states in the country, Iowa's already shown that the United States is ready for a female president because I won the Iowa straw poll. That was a huge victory this last August, and it demonstrated that Iowans are up for it. Iowans are very forward-looking people. I am an Iowan. I was born and raised in Waterloo and Cedar Falls, and they've already made that decision. That's the only statewide race that we've had so far in this presidential cycle, and I think Iowans have demonstrated they're up for it, and so am I.
Newt Gingrich is still the front runner in Iowa. You're making gains. What do Iowa caucus goers need to know about Gingrich when they go to their caucuses?
Well, I think Iowans are learning some very significant facts, and they're very troubling facts. They've learned that Newt Gingrich has been more than willing to campaign for and support Republican candidates who support the barbaric practice of partial birth abortion. In fact, he said it would be arrogant for the Republican Party not to campaign and support Republican candidates who support the barbaric practice of partial birth abortion. And I think that there is absolutely no virtue in tolerating what is in effect infanticide. I think that's wrong. I'm 100% pro-life. I believe that life should be protected and preserved from conception until natural death. We also learned that Newt Gingrich has been one of the most active insiders of the Washington, D.C. establishment for over 30 years, and he took over $1.6 million to continue to advance a fraud and a failure, which is called Freddie Mac. And he is still yet to be forthcoming about that money. It's taxpayer money, and I'm calling on him to return that money to the American people.
There's a new CNN ORC poll out today that's a national poll that puts Romney and Gingrich both tied. So Newt Gingrich over the past couple of weeks, other polls have showed him falling and slipping. This poll showing the same thing. To what do you attribute his fall in the past couple of weeks? And then the second part of that, the same poll has you still in the single digits. What gives you such confidence here in Iowa that you will pull off a win?
Well, I think after the debate that we saw at Sioux City, Iowa, it's almost like an electric light switch has been turned on. Our crowds have been phenomenal. The support has been moving up because people are seeing that I'm the one true, consistent constitutional conservative in this race. There are no surprises with me in my background. There's no policy surprises, and that's what people want, someone that they can count on. I am not a politician. I'm a real person. I don't even know how to be a politician. That's why I'm in trouble all the time in Washington, D.C., because I'm constantly fighting the establishment in Washington, D.C. People are now making their decision in Iowa. About 60% of the people are undecided. We are perfectly positioned to win.
Thank you very much.
January
Thank
3rd.
you for coming.